Republican family, and I was brought up to believe whatever the president said, and everything seemed good and right with this country. And our country was always on the side of what was good and right, and our president was always good and right, and everything seemed all happy, good, and right. And then we had another president, a new president, a younger president, a very inspirational president, inspirational speaker, and things seemed gooder and righter than ever. Things were just really, the heart of the people was really becoming inspired. And the next thing, bam, all of a sudden, there was a bullet in the head of the president that had shot the president, and all of things just didn't make sense anymore. All of a sudden, whoa, what happened? So then I've really dealt with that for years and years, and it appears to me now that as I've looked and watched and everything going on, it appears to me that when they put a bullet through the president, if someone kills off the leader of a country and takes control of the country, you call that a coup. Cool. And it appears to me that the people that are in power now and the people that have been in power basically ever since are the same people who arranged to put the bullet in the head of the president. In other words, I think that there was a coup in this country when they put a bullet in Kennedy's head, and that we need to fix all the damage that has been done since that time, that we've been living under a coup.
Well,
that's what I personally
there's been a lot of theories on that. I really don't know, but you go back to who took over for him after he was assassinated. That would have been Eisenhower.
Lyndon Johnson.
Lyndon Johnson, I'm sorry.
But then again, somebody just wrote a book to that effect. I can't remember the guy's name, but I saw it on C-SPAN. And he's suggesting that Lyndon Johnson had Kennedy murdered, which is completely ridiculous.
Well,
I don't care.
That's been said
idiocy.
Right. See, that's the thing. Okay. So who took over? So it happened in Lyndon Johnson's state. It happened in Lyndon Johnson's state. Well, that's too bad that fact alone throws doubt on the character of Lyndon Johnson.
It does,
doesn't it?
And that guy who killed him, we'll never know. But he definitely had some issues going on.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever Kennedy got killed, one thing I was thinking about as you said that was way before my time, or maybe it was when I was like 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when the end of the innocence.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's the end of innocence.
Well, it's in that period.
Yes,
I
think that's period. What you alluded to, and
right. There was
that out. End of the innocence. And then you had doubt.
It took a while. Yeah.
It had doubt. The country had doubt.
It was a big shock.
Had doubt. I'm sure they had no vision of the future.
My
country did.
Kennedy story is the following. My dear old Uncle Eddie actually met John Kennedy and got a citation from him because he worked at SAC headquarters. He developed the photographs that were, well, he put it this way. When I saw those missiles disguised like palm trees, I knew we were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He was only 22 years old at the time.
Right.
And then he said that Kennedy was almost regal in person,
Mm-hmm.
He was one of 9 people that shook hands with him, and that was it,
Mm-hmm.
Then I asked him the logical question, where were you the day Kennedy was shot? He said, I know exactly where I was. I was painting the mess hall. They were throwing him out of the Air Force for being a nut.
Mm-hmm.
So he basically went from being a national hero to less than that. That's my uncle for you.
Yeah.
His son is the one who's the...
head of the FBI or something?
He's not the head of the FBI, but he isn't just he's going to be mad at me for saying this, but he can't be any madder than he was when I stole his possessions to go buy heroin. But I didn't know he was going to grow up to be Elliot Ness, or I wouldn't have done it.
Mm-hmm.
Elliot Ness?
Well, I mean, that being facetious, of course.
Okay. Of course.
But anyway, the point of this is, I'm sorry, but I used to think it was a conspiracy. It could have been anybody from the mobs to the Cubans. But I swear, I think Oswald just shot him in the head. And then Ruby shot Oswald. I really think that's what happened.
That's something else. That's another little piece of information.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Prescott Bush picks up the unknown politician Richard Nixon and begins to back him before anybody knows who Nixon is.
Well, Nixon's first run was in '48 against Helen Gahagan Douglas.
Okay.
Pink right down to her panties.
Okay.
What Nixon?
All right. Apparently,
I'm impressed. You know that.
and apparently,
Of course I know that.
Of course, and so then who worked then when we get Senator Nixon going, who works for Senator Nixon early on, but Jack Ruby was an employee of Mr. Nixon's.
To do with what? He ran a strip club. I don't.
He worked for Richard Nixon.
I mean, when you say you
on.
worked for Richard Nixon, you mean handed out a flyer or worked in the office?
I don't know exactly.
Well, that's what I mean. You can't.
I think it was part of his staff.
I
think so.
can't.
Now, I can imagine him handing out a flyer
Really?
for
You
Richard
think that?
Nixon.
I think so.
but,
Yeah.
He didn't work directly for Richard Nixon.
Maybe somebody can get more information. I'm sorry, you can't just be walking back in there. Yeah.
No, he wouldn't.
You could get beamed with a coffee
No.
or teacup. I mean, yeah.
Considering he ran a
If
strip club,
someone
I could see
knows-
him working for John Kennedy faster than I could.
Or
Now, I was only 7 years old, but when Martin Luther King and Bobby were murdered, that hurt me
okay.
really bad. I remember very well when those two people were murdered. And that's a different kettle of, I mean, we know who shot Bobby. He was standing there.
I've got to go. I've left
See
my
my pen.
You left your what?
I've left my lab coat in the car. I'll be right back.
Well, can we have a cup of tea? Surely it's ready by now.
Can you pass me the lab
It's,
coats from out there so that?
Hey, hang on 1 second.
We have lab coats for guests. Would you care for a lab coat?
Only if I can keep it.
You can't keep it, but you can be. But we'll call you Dr. Chris.
No, don't do that. I've been in enough trouble with
Do you
that.
want one?
Yeah, you let me know one.
They're all the same size, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. That's what they're one size
Crap,
fits all.
I
aren't
can't
they?
see that. Thank you. I'll put it on.
And I left mine in the truck. It took me. I just suddenly realized that there were.
Well, why don't you just put mine on?
I'm not sure. I don't think that's going to be showed up. Probably not. If anyone has that information about
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't believe that for a minute. He might have handed out a flyer for Nixon. but-
Ruby, please call in and tell us.
Oh, people call in and tell you all sorts of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear, I mean, I can't prove it because I was only a year old, but I swear I think Oswald shot Kennedy. Yeah,
What's it say?
301-9358.
All right, that's the number to call
But
if you have any
No,
information.
well,
about
not just
Jack
any
Ruby.
information. We don't want
Well, I'll take
every
any
crackpot
information
in the
that-
country here.
Well, maybe 2 crackpots.
Like I said, he might have handed out a flyer. He didn't work in the office. I guarantee you that. Absolutely.
I don't know about Jack Ruby. I think that's just another fictitious.
Well, I do know what the whole world knows about him. And he might have handed out a flyer for Dick Nixon. He did a lot of things. I mean, I just think it was, I mean, it's a terrible thing for it to just be that much of a coincidence. Just like there are conspiracy theories now about 9/11, which are absurd. I mean,
Well, I do agree with the absurdness of 9/11. That actually happened.
well, no, but I mean that it was some conspiracy by this government. Now, they're certainly not above using it to
But you know
land
what?
on.
Here's the thing. They say that Bush is dumb and can't do anything right, but yet he can do a mastermind and blow up
A
two
huge
twin towers
conspiracy, right?
and
yeah.
trick the world of going into war. I mean, sounds like to me if
This
he's
is
that
the
dumb.
rock tea.
Excuse me?
Rock tea.
Explain.
It's rock tea. It's an oolong.
Ah,
Specific. I don't know what I did with the box. It's over there in another box. But it's the rock tea. This is China Black in that one. And I thought, I don't see my little single tea. I thought I'd make some green in the green.
Oh, is tea ready?
Yes, and the big pot is.
Big pot.
Let's see if I can find my.
With the big sound.
first thing he's going to want to do is get me way off his side. But I hope the next man to be president is Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I really do.
Barack Obama.
I call him Barack Obama.
The only excuse not to elect the man would be sheer bigotry.
Yeah.
He's intelligent,
I
he's
don't know
charming.
about that. I don't know about that.
Well, he's intelligent, he's
Yeah.
charming, he's young.
Well, if that's the case, we should elect our ex-senator from the state of North Carolina.
He's fine with me too. I like it quite
I
a
think
bit.
that's a good, you need to know where the issues is. But, I think it comes down to a blue and red issue.
No, well,
Blue
yes
and
no.
red.
Yeah.
But I like Edwards because he's the only politician I've heard since Robert F. Kennedy that mentioned that we have a problem with poverty in this country. And
Well, he can relate to it real well. Him and his $400 haircut.
well, you say that, but what's that got to do with the fact that he says we've got a poverty problem? He didn't mean him personally.
No.
I mean, he's not,
But he could have bought a lot of haircuts for $400 for the homeless or anyone for the
Well,
poverty
I'm
because
sure
they
he
need
does.
haircuts too. We got to keep those guys with haircuts too now.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing about it is, you can go live in the black hole of Calcutta, but then we get into an issue. You do realize that Mother Teresa sucked up to every right-wing dictator she could find. I mean,
She needed money.
exactly. I mean, what I mean is you can't, you can criticize somebody for what is,
Yeah. Rock
Oh.
aroma. Oh, rock aroma.
yeah. I don't see why he should have to be poor to say we should do something about poverty. Yeah.
Well, it would make him seem more sincere, I guess.
I've never been this poor in my life, and I don't like it. I'm, at all. I'm not used to it. I'm not gonna get used to it. I'm gonna do something about it.
What do you think is your plan to change?
Well, I don't really have a plan. It would start with a simple minimum wage job. I mean,
Well, the methadone clinic should help. Maybe
it's not
find
what they're at.
Well, no, but they
Where-
should.
Where'd you put your phone number?
Right here. I did stick it up. No one's called yet. We were wanting to know about Jack Ruby. I don't know if it's going to come through or not.
Okay.
See, from the distance, I don't know if you can see
I
it.
don't know. I thought I'd try.
Okay.
There
I
it is.
think
You
it
can see
does.
that. Yeah, you can see that.
So if you have any information about Jack Ruby or any information or any questions, we will entertain some. We may do some pre-screening.
Well, I figure like this. I figure that they just need to if the Democrats weren't just totally as sold out as the Republicans, they're also sold out if they weren't, then they would impeach the vice president and the president, let the Speaker of the House become the first woman Speaker of the House become the first woman president, but she'd only have to serve for a short period. Then they could put Barack Obama in there and have the first black president. We'd be making some progress, bing, 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 like that.
Well,
and I'd love to see it just to shake up the old boy network. Be happy with be fine with me.
the first thing-
Just to shake them up.
But maybe
first-
we'd go to the old girl network.
Yeah. First thing they're gonna do at Obama headquarters in town is get me the hell off their side.
You think?
Oh, definitely. You don't want it'd be about like having Jack Ruby passing out
Pass me
flyers
one of those
for you.
little spoons.
Believe it or not, I had my phone off when we gave out that number. So we may have.
What you got?
If you called, I had my phone turned off. You want to hear my voicemail? You want to hear my voicemail? Nothing about
Can't
the
you
show.
just repeat it?
Let's see.
I mean,
Let's see if I can figure out how to get it on the speaker here.
This message will be saved for 40 days. End of new
Really?
messages.
That's great.
Send message, press 2. To change your personal options, you have pressed
This tea
to
is
exit.
delicious.
To
It
listen
really
to
is.
messages,
It's
press
excellent.
1. To send a message,
You have another variety. Elmer Foot.
Huh?
Elmer Foot.
Hmm?
Sorry, Elmer Foot.
Elmer Fudd. Hey, there you go. Now, another call coming in.
Another call. It's Dr. Dick.
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
Hey, this Gene.
Yes, Gene. Hold on one second, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry to
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Just got you on the television right now with a voicemail. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. We're using my telephone as a calling. Go ahead.
How, have you got an hour or half an hour?
2 hours.
Good Lord, I didn't know that. You got 2
Well,
hours?
see, now we got a call and he took it outside. Why does the call go outside?
Well, he probably doesn't want the whole world to know it's business. I mean, well, I'm pretty much an open book. I don't really care who knows what. It helps me to stay, clean.
Well, this is going to be so far. It's going to be a rare show. This is a rare show,
In what regard?
and it's just one. So far it's one of the wackiest shows we've had. I think.
Oh, good.
We don't have many people here.
That's
As you see, I've set the table expecting much more.
More people.
Now you were going to ask me all kinds of questions like, are there going to be people here and things you were going to ask right now. I've got my water boiling. I've got tea brewing and things are happening.
I was gonna ask you, most especially, I'm curious about that gauge over there you have.
This lamp. This is my lamp. And
I understand that, but it is not only a lamp, surely.
no, but
What does it do?
well, the fact is, it's not. It's a voltmeter. It's a very
Well,
old.
that's what I thought, a very old
It's
voltage.
a very old voltmeter, and I took a very old voltmeter and turned it into a lamp. And
It doesn't function as a voltmeter.
well, it used to, it was until I brought it here. It was functioning, and the first time I brought it here, it quit, and then it started again, and then it quit again, and I don't know why, and I haven't opened it up to look to see why, but apparently it's what is something that turns on and off sometimes.
What?
Oh, something that works sometimes and doesn't work other times. Intermittent.
Right.
Apparently, it's a little intermittent.
Works sometimes and doesn't work other times. I thought you meant me. Sometimes I work, sometimes I don't.
Well, you're intermittent.
Yeah, exactly. I could drag more people in here. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you who you should have on the show. You should bring Heather on your show one day.
Uh-huh.
She's very entertaining.
When she's sober.
Even when she's not.
I see, but we don't want to break the china. We try to keep the tea set
Well, there is that, yeah.
together.
Yeah, you got
So,
to, yeah, but I mean, she's a very entertaining girl.
Uh-huh.
You should have her on sometime.
I'm thinking your new girl might be more entertaining.
Not these days.
No?
And, well, the trouble is, this is a little boring for the general public, or perhaps you have this problem too. She's kind of neutral about, it's not anything that I've done to her, but with the psychiatric drugs she's taking these days, she's kind of neutral about the whole being alive thing.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And those of you out there, chances are, if you're sitting around watching this show, if you're anything like me, you would probably, and I understand that a lot of people are afflicted with this. A personal favorite of mine, John Lennon spent a lot of time sitting around high as a kite watching TV, basically depressed.
Yeah. A
makes,
favorite of mine too.
yeah, I know. That's why I brought it up.
Right, and then I noticed that when he got out, when he came
He was
out,
murdered
they
immediately.
shot him.
Yeah, yeah. That'll happen.
Right, as long as you stay in the house, do not go out, do not speak out in public, do not cut a new album, and you will be fine. But if you walk out and you intend to cut a new album and you may be a little controversial, you may not live.
Yeah. Well, there is that, but I'll tell you one thing that bothered me, and it does. I'm not as conspiracy-minded as you are, but I knew as soon as I saw that second plane hit, pretty much they were going to lean on every Tom, Dick, and Muhammad that they could find. And you know damn good and well the average Muslim wants as much to do with that as the average Christian does with Charlie Manson. I mean, what the...
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean...
Right. Point well taken.
I mean, it's you know, but you knew it was going to happen. I mean, I did almost immediately. You know,
Yeah.
and they've done it. I mean,
Well, you would have realized that early on because your mind works that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
First thing in the morning.
As soon as you saw the second plane hit, you knew that was coming down, didn't you?
Well, that the government was going to become immediately oppressive.
Right.
Sure.
Well, you knew that before. You knew the government was coming down before you knew the building was coming down.
Yeah, it surprised me that the building fell. The government falling on you doesn't surprise me in the least.
I guess I should just take that into account. Realize it's just the natural order of things, and not be so darn paranoid.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, it shouldn't be. As a matter of fact, I've got a friend that lives next door to me now. She's as Caucasian as you can get, but her last name is Mustafa. And I asked her, they did in fact go lean on her son.
Was it somebody watching the show?
No, it wasn't. It was actually my co-worker down in Statesville. He has got to come to Asheville and set up a piece of medical equipment, and he needed a piece of an adapter.
Oh.
And then we were talking about how he needed to, where he had to hook it up at.
Well, John would be your man here to adapt anything.
Speaking of adapter, I got some show and tell stuff.
I know. Let's do it. Let's do your show and tell. I got some great little show and tells from you, and I'm
more tea before we do
okay.
anything.
You like the rock tea pretty good?
I do, but can I have a choice? Or
Sure, you can go with the China Black or the green. The green I'm going to add some more water to here.
I
So
think I'll
Do
go
you want
with.
me to pour it for you?
I'd give it a little sloshing before I
Here, well, wait a minute. let me
slosh it around a time or two before you pour it to sort of help it out.
That is delicious. This
Thank you.
tea is wonderful.
Thank you. I have some of the best tea. I actually try to serve some of the best tea in the world.
Well, you've succeeded. I think there may be Russians who are a little ahead of you, but you don't have the samovar. We'll try and correct that.
No, but I do know a lady from China who when I pointed to this symbol here and said I like the tea from this company, she says, "Oh, that is my tea company in China." And I said,
her tea company is in. She uses the tea, or she owns the company.
well, it appears to be there's a language barrier here, but then again when I said, well, you have the best tea in the world, and she was like, that is my tea company in China.
I like that. I like that.
So-
That's funny.
So that's
Where were you? A Chinese restaurant, or?
yeah. She also gave me a cup, and it might be here. That has the name of her restaurant on one side of it and the name of the tea company on the other side.
Excellent. Do you remember the woman?
It's not in the little box, but wait a minute, and I can't let you go back in the back room. I can go look for it. What?
Do you remember Mrs. Lee from the Paradise, the woman with
Yes.
photographic memory?
Oh yes. Well, no, according to Mr. Whittemore, she was psychic.
Well, I thought she just had a photographic memory.
I think she may have had a photographic memory, and she may have been psychic. Here you go. You do the show and tell, and I'll go see if I have that cup.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, when I get this out, I wanted your comments about it
Okay.
because I'm not that familiar with what it is. But go ahead.
All right, well, go ahead.
This is. Well, let me start with this one.
You got a couple of things there.
This is a mic. Since
That
I
looks
know.
like a good one. And usually when they come in a box, that's usually a good sign.
Well, I don't know. This is something that was in a box of stuff, and I wanted you to tell everybody.
Oh yeah. I've got a very similar one.
Okay.
They sound great. Have
They
you
do?
tried it?
No, I haven't tried it. I want you to explain how.
Have you got the battery in it?
There's battery in this.
Okay, sorry about this.
Okay.
Yeah, mine's out. I've got one here.
You
I got one out in the
need
truck.
that battery.
This battery is sitting here.
Oh, there's a battery in there? Okay.
You can run this. You can run this on a wire, or you can run it on its wireless. And that's its antenna right there.
Okay.
Okay.
I much prefer the rock key.
Okay, that's my favorite. The rock.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put this back in the.
No, you can't put it back in the pot. Just sit it down.
Just
I'll
get a
deal
new
with it.
cup.
I'll get.
Yeah, we'll deal
I'll
with it
pour it
later.
out for you. But just wait a minute. What is it you don't like about it? Is it too strong or what?
Yeah, it's not that I don't like it. It's just a letdown after the rock key. It's wonderful.
Okay. All right. The rock is my favorite, but I like the China Black just as well.
Well, here, just drink it. It's
Well, just a moment, okay?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so this microphone here, now what I'm trying to figure out, John, since you're, you know a lot about audio, how would could this be interfaced with the 110 that we're using right now?
Actually, yes and no.
Okay.
This is not good for a 110 because it's not a balanced input.
Okay.
Does the 110 have an unbalanced microphone input on it? I don't think
It
so.
just has the
Right.
LX cables.
You would need an adapter.
Yeah, you'd have to have an RCA adapter, right? With two plugs coming out,
Well,
No,
you,
wait, no,
you
no.
need a quarter inch
quarter inch.
to to XLR adapter.
Okay.
Quarter inch.
A quarter inch to XLR.
XLR adapter. Yeah.
Okay.
Now see, I have a cheap camera that has an 1/8 inch input, just a little input the size of what. I'm gonna go here.
Go ahead and take care of that now.
Oh, you've already done that. Okay, never mind.
Done what?
Put stuff in that cup.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I was gonna go pour this out.
He's gonna pour it out because he doesn't
That's
want to
okay,
spill or
don't-
anything.
go ahead, do it.
Here, I'll pour it for you. Okay. Now there's your rock tea. That's what you wanted, right? Rock tea?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Very good. I think we need more water in there.
Well, it has different components here, and we're looking at a microphone that we're going to see if we can interface with the camera system here.
Now, have you got any idea of what it was I said I was gonna go in here and get?
The cup with the name of the tea company
Okay, let's see
and the restaurant.
Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, it's in the box.
Now you're
Without plugging the restaurant, we don't want to be
No.
plugging any businesses or any tea companies.
We don't?
But as you see, there's the name of the tea company, and there's the name of the restaurant.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, I know this well.
It's a good restaurant.
It is indeed. They've been to the door on numerous occasions when I had a door.
Oh, really? They've delivered?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's see where they're from. I didn't know they'd do that.
Well, they used to. So they were right down the road.
Let's see, I'm trying to think, were they the first one to do the hot grill?
You see the address?
Boulevard. Well, we're not supposed to. Wait a minute. They said we got a branch office then. 'Cause they were right